Tom Hanks, sure. He can play any role. He could probably play Raphael, or he could play Tobit. He could play Toby, the son, or now here's a novel idea. He could play all three with makeup and Hollywood. And Tom Hanks' ability is unmatched. Sure, he could do it. He would be ideal. Tom Hanks has had a long career. I think he might jump at this. I mean, you know the story. It's in the Old Testament and Catholic Bibles, and also in Orthodox Christian, and it's in a lot of Jewish religious training. You add it all up, and it's 1.5 billion people, English speakers, who are familiar with the story. There was a Jewish girl. I set my adaptation of the Book of Tobit in Amsterdam and London. Sarah lives in London, and she's been preyed upon. She's a good Jewish girl, good family. They didn't do anything to bring this on, but a demon has been preying upon poor Sarah. She's been married 7 times, and 7 times she's been widowed. And this is before they even reach the wedding bed. A demon named Asmodeus comes and demonic murders. So that's always good for film. Raphael is sent by God to deal with the situation, chiefly because Sarah prays to die. So all this, she's married 7 times, and a demon comes and kills her new husband. Even little kids, Sunday school, a church, a religious synagogue, religious training, are told there was a nice Jewish girl in the Old Testament who is widowed 7 times. I think the nuns leave the part out about the marriage being unconsummated. But little kids, they know what weddings are. And they ask a few questions, and they learn what a widow is. So, that's the story. I think it'd make a great film. Tom Hanks could play any of these roles. I think it's a no-brainer, given that 1.5 billion people are familiar with the story, but it's never been on film. There was a silent film 100 years ago, but it's obscure, and I've seen it. It's really hard to tell what's going on. You have to know the story before. Now, we have advanced in filmmaking so far. It's not going to be difficult to tell the story. I think it's got a lot of dramatic elements. I mean, what film has 7 weddings in it? And 7 demonic murders? It'll sell. Yeah, worldwide, global. It's in the Catholic Bible. It's in Orthodox Christian, Jewish, Russian, Greek Orthodox, Russian Orthodox, all the Orthodox religions that branch off from in Christianity. Armenian Orthodox, Ukrainian Orthodox, Serbian Orthodox, all of Eastern Europe it's a big market. It's about 280 million Orthodox Christians worldwide. There's 25 or 28 million Jews globally, but there's 1.3 billion Catholics, and 70% of them speak English. So it is a huge market. Yeah, even in China, the Catholic Church is growing leaps and bounds in China. They got a lot of good leaders. There's 3 or 4 cardinals who are just giving the Chinese government a problem. And so people are flocking to the Catholic Church, especially there's a Cardinal Zen Cardinal Zen in Hong Kong. It's a huge market. And you used to think, well, there's not that many Christians in China. It's huge. And because they're Catholic, they're joining the Catholic Church. They're familiar with the story of Tobit. Well, Tobit is about 8 pages. It's in the Bible. In most Bibles, 8 pages. All I did was take each verse and write a scene. A lot of it's my interpretation. I changed the setting. In the Bible, the story is 3,000 years old and takes place in Jewish exile. The Jews in about 3,000 years ago, the Jews were kidnapped and carted off, not to Egypt, but to Mesopotamia. So somewhere east of Israel, this story took place. I put it in Amsterdam and London, and right before World War II, right before the Nazi invasion. Yeah, I did that to put a little suspense. Everybody that has read Tobit, and he's 80 years old, so they know we don't live forever. And everybody knows Tobit's going to die. The question is he going to die peacefully in his bed in Amsterdam, or is he going to meet a violent death in one of the Nazi prison camps? Because everybody knows the Jews of Amsterdam were disproportionately carted off. They rebelled and they shot at Nazis, and they didn't go peacefully. So, and everybody knows that's going to happen at the end of the movie. The question is, when will Tobit die? Tobit is a great character, and Tom Hanks could really knock it out of the water. Tobit's 80 and he becomes blind and is not accustomed to this situation because he's always been self-sufficient and successful, hardworking, and he's provided for his wife and son. But when he gets blind, he needs the money that he deposited in a London bank when he was a kid. So he has to send his son. And he prays for a companion, someone to help protect his son. God sends Raphael, the angel. I'm not sure people understand. You didn't wire money back then, not like today. So a trip from Amsterdam to London, and you're bringing back a substantial sum of money, like a retirement nest egg, it was dangerous. And you wouldn't want to go by yourself. So Tobit's prayer is answered with Raphael. Sarah is the girl in London, and her prayer is answered when God sends Raphael, the same angel, to take care of the demon. So I can see Tom Hanks. I understand he is a spiritual being, and whether he's Catholic or Jewish or Greek Orthodox, it doesn't matter. It's a great story. Nowhere in history has a woman been married 7 times and then widowed immediately. So yeah, at the end there's a huge fight between an angel and a demon, and in the middle of the street in London, and I don't want to ruin it for you, but Raphael defeats the demon, wraps him up, and rolls him down the hill right into the Thames. So that takes care of that. Tom Hanks could do that.